What did St. Paul say to the Thessalonians? You remember, my friends, our toil and drudgery. Night and day we worked for a living, rather than be a burden to any of you, while we proclaimed to you the good news of God. We call you to witness, yes, and God himself, how devout and just and blameless was our conduct towards you, who are believers. As you well know, we dealt with each one of you as a father deals with his children. We appealed to you, we encouraged you, we urged you to live lives worthy of the God who calls you into his kingdom and glory. We have reason to thank God continually, because when we handed on God's message, you accepted it, not as a human word, but as what it truly is, the very word of God, at work in you who are believers. Paul did his best for the people of Thessalonica. Maybe he'd been treated quite badly himself over a period of time, but he reminded that community, that he worked hard night and day, day and night, doing his very best so that he wouldn't be a burden to them. And he appealed to them to do their best as well, to live lives worthy of the God who called them. What does it mean to live a life worthy of God? What does it mean to live my life worthy of the God who has called me and you into his kingdom and glory? Certainly the people of Thessalonica generally responded well to God's message. Paul saw that they were great examples of what it meant to live life well, to believe in God, to accept the message of God, and to live it out. No doubt Paul and his companions felt a huge amount of affection and love for the people of Thessalonica, and I guess some responsibility for them too. Seeing themselves as true pastors, encouraging these new converts in their relationship with Jesus Christ. So Paul and others must have felt a huge amount of goodwill towards them. But that was then, and this is now. That was them, and this is us, 2,000 years later. We think about that community from those early times, all those years ago, those early Christian communities who accepted and lived out the gospel. Good for them. They did a good job. But what does it mean for us? How do we live out the gospel today? How do we live a life worthy of God? Work tirelessly. Don't wear yourself out, of course, but let everything you do reflect your commitment to God. Don't hold back with your focus and energy. Don't just drift, but discover that inner drive and determination to do your best, to be the best you can be. Love others. Let's care for others, not just paying them lip service, but living generous, kind, and loving lives. And live your life worthy of God. That doesn't mean being perfect, although you could strive for that. That's no bad thing. But it's more about integrity, compassion, love, reflecting the character of Christ as you live each day, each hour, each minute. So listen, embrace your life, find joy in your relationship with God, inhabit humility, be grateful. And remember, whoever you are, God has called you, God has chosen you, God walks beside you.